Hello and welcome back to the Pat Carosa Buffalo Bills channel, where we talk about the Buffalo Bills and also some life lessons along the way. Today we are going to talk about the top 10 Buffalo Bills games that I ever went to. Remember, I was a season ticket holder for the Bills, and my sister is, and also my two uncles and cousin are as well. We have gone to so many Bills games, almost 80 Bills games the last 24 years, and these are, in my opinion, the top 10 Bills games that I ever went to. In the last video, I talked about number 10, which was my first ever football game, and now we are going to talk about number 9, which is the 2007 season opener against the Denver Broncos. Now, this game is remembered for something totally different than a regular football game. This game is remembered for when Kevin Everett was paralyzed from the neck down on the field, and the so many miracles, science miracles and medicine that was performed that day, and that really transcended sports as well. But some background before this game. Well, the Bills by 2007 was in a 7-year playoff drought, and they just drafted Marshawn Lynch and Paul Posluszny as long as a quarterback named Trent Edwards. But they already had a quarterback at that time, which was J.P. Lossman, and he was coming off a okay season where you think he was about to turn the corner, that he was about to be the quarterback they thought they would be when they drafted him in 2004 in the first round. And so Bills fans were really optimistic about that and about, okay, the Bills' chances. Second year with Dick Duran and maybe an improvement from J.P. Lossman. So we went into that game really feeling good, confident. Would I go all the way there? Maybe not, but we were feeling good about the Bills season that year. So we go in, and I remember my uncle did not attend this game. My uncle usually goes with us, and my cousin or his friends, but my uncle didn't go. It was me, my mom, Sam, my brother, and my dad, and my sister was obviously back at college. And we used to sit, not right now, obviously, but we used to sit in the front row, tunnel side, on the 20-yard line, which was an interesting viewpoint. You could see the field all around you. It was hard to see the far end zone because the Bills players would be in the way, but at the same time, you could see it all. You could see the action, especially the action near the sideline. You could see the big hits, and you could see the players huddling up down near the sideline, talking about game plan and everything. It was a really neat experience being down in the front row and being down that low. It's always been a great experience. And for the season opener, it's always a optimistic time because, okay, you don't know if you would be a disappointment or a success yet. So there's still a bit of optimism in the air. So I remember the Bills had a pretty good first half. Marshawn Lynch scored his first NFL touchdown on a really awesome run where he bulldozed a defender from the 3-yard line into the end zone, and we were all feeling excited. And then came the second half kickoff. It was caught by the returner, can't remember his name, and he returned it to the 20-yard line, and he met with a brick wall, and he was tackled down. Everyone got up except for one player, and I remember telling my dad that there's a guy on the ground named Kevin Everett. Now, when a player is injured, he usually stays down for like 5 or 6 seconds, just absorbing the big hit that he got. But then he usually gets up or he moves around a little bit. And the thing about Kevin Everett at that time was that he wasn't really moving. He moved a little bit. His shoulders moved, twitched, maybe just to get used to the uncomfortableness that he was having. But other than that, he did not move at all, and the stadium just went quiet because they saw just how serious this was. He was laying on the field, and I remember the Bills players were all in a prayer circle, hoping for good news for Kevin Everett, that he would get up or he would, just do anything positive, but he wasn't. And I remember the ambulance had to be on the field, and the stadium just paused. The whole game paused for a brief second, and it was amazing just how much medical technology, medical science were instituted right there, and it was one of the most surreal experience I ever saw. Usually they give a thumbs up, when they go in the ambulance. Kevin Everett didn't do that, and it was just a unbelievable and surreal feeling. It was a hard feeling. Like, it was the realities of football. That, like, those things will happen, and it's sad, but it will happen. So he was put on the cart, put in the ambulance, and I remember just looking around, and everyone was paying attention to the field, and the players were not really walking. They were all in a circle surrounding Kevin Everett, and the game was stopped for a very, very long time. It took a while for the game to resume, and once it did, you just felt an uneasy feeling about it, that, why are we continuing this football game when a player basically almost died on the field. And the Bills eventually, well, surprise, surprise, they lost on a unbelievable way to lose, where the Bills were leading by 2 points, and Denver had to race their kicker onto the field just to get the game-winning field goal, which they did. So, it was a double whammy. We lost on a unbelievable way to lose, and then we lost a player that we didn't know if he was going to be good or not. So, and then, later on, we found out that he was paralyzed, but they got so many great medicine there, and new medicine procedures, that by the end of the year, by the last home game of the year, he was out at what was called Ralph Wilson Stadium, and he was walking again. And I was at that game too, at the New York Giants. At the New York Giants game that year, before the game, he was walking toward us. So, it was just an amazing but sad experience that I remember, and I think that's why it's number 9 on my list, is because of the whole surreal part of it, but also the uplifting part. Later on in the season, he came back and he walked again, which is really amazing, really, really amazing. I applaud the Bills training staff too. That was, I think they won the award for best training staff that year. So it was that Denver game was one of the most memorable Bills games that I ever went to, because of the surreal part of it. So that is it. Number 9 on the list was the Denver Broncos, the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos 2007, where Kevin Everett got injured. So that is number 9. Come back to me for number 10, or no, number 10, number 8. But remember to please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Go Bills.